Akira was just your average bottom-tier high school loser, like the kind of dude who'd rather level up in a game than in real life. Dude had zero riz, zero ambition, and his whole personality was just playing games everywhere. But then his NPC life hits a plot twist. Some mysterious baddie of a woman pulls up, kidnaps him, and drags him into a straight-up death game. And somehow, this crusty no-life gamer starts wrecking people left and right. It turned out, all those sleepless nights grinding in front of a screen actually made him so overpowered that every participant had to bow to him. The story kicks off with this dude named Akira, your average nobody, walking to school like it's just another Tuesday. But plot twist, out of nowhere, this buff psycho starts chasing him down. And this ain't your average hallway bully. Man's built like a protein shake and hits like a truck. Akira's first instinct is run, obviously, but deep down, he's still a gamer. And if there's one thing gamers hate more than lag, it's losing. So instead of just dying like an NPC, he starts scheming like it's a boss fight. Dude lures the human meatball into an abandoned building, sets up a trap, and drops debris on his head. Problem is, the guy doesn't die, he just shrugs off the rubble. So Akira grabs a rusty metal pipe and stabs him mid-air while the dude tries to jump. Savage. Akira wins that round, but just as he thinks he's earned a break, a new challenger arrives, some random girl named Mayon, and completely destroys him. Next thing he knows, Akira wakes up in some shady room surrounded by other unlucky souls who also got clapped into this mess. Mayon reappears, acting like some Saw-style game show host, and announces they've been selected as test subjects for special abilities experiments. For example, her power literally turns her hand into a cannon. Anyway, the first event is a one-on-one deathmatch, because of course it is. Everyone gets locked in their own room and handed a letter that reveals their special ability. When Akira reads his, he's just standing there like, what the hell is this? It makes no sense. But after downing his favorite sugary snack, he finally starts cooking up ideas to survive. Soon after, he meets his opponent, and this dude is not here to play. He tells Akira to just give up and walk away. But Akira's not the same anymore.
Can't fool me.
No way he's backing down. Akira falls back on his gamer instincts. At a critical moment, he bluffs that he has Mayon's cannon arm, and it works. The real kicker is his ability copies whatever power his opponent believes he has. Pure gaslighting, weaponized. Meanwhile, in another corner of the chaos, we got Yuri, who hates the word coincidence with her whole soul. Because coincidences always screw her over. One time, she accidentally helped out a crying classmate, and turns out dude was a stalker. Now, he follows her around like a lost puppy. So back at home, Yuri's life was already a mess. Her mom had this toxic little habit of dragging home random men she just happened to meet. And one of those dudes just happened to have a kid, which of course meant Yuri got voluntold to babysit. Then, on another unlucky day, the ugly classmate who used to follow her around like a sad anime subplot bumps into her. Turns out he was about to unalive himself. Yuri, being a decent human, tries to stop him, but she slips, eats concrete, and gets randomly selected to join the death game of the century. When she woke up in the weird murder hotel, she thought it was just a nightmare, until she realized that this is real. And apparently, she had a power now. She tried using it to escape, but let's be honest, whoever gave them these powers probably read the fine print and locked down all the loopholes. Backstory time. Yuri used to be stacked, like almost $1 million in her savings account stacked. She was ready to dip, live solo, and leave the family drama behind. But then her parents told her to take care of Riria, and Yuri, being way too soft for this world, caught feelings and made it her mission to protect that kid. Fast forward, it's duel time. Yuri gets matched against this absolute creep of a man whose power is sniffing. No, seriously, he can detect a person's physical condition just by smelling them. And because life is unfair, he's obsessed with the scent of teenage girls, which makes him way too excited to fight Yuri. Yuri kicks him hard, but the dude's a tank and grabs her like he's reliving his disgusting glory days. He even starts monologuing about how this is fate and how he used to hire girls like her. Fueled by rage and pure disgust, she unlocks her true ability, boosting her physical strength fivefold. Girl went full one-punch woman. With one squeeze, she crushes his hand and then proceeds to beat the living trauma out of him until he's no longer a problem. Next up in the death circus is team battles. Now all the duel survivors get grouped into teams of 5. Akira ends up with Kirasaki, Yuri, Kumagiri, and Sawatari. a party lineup that sounds like the start of a weird high school team. They sit down for the awkward introductions. Most people just say their power straight up, even Sawatari, who brags about his ability like it's something impressive, even though it's totally useless in a fight. Man's out here flexing a passive skill like it's ultra rare. Meanwhile, Akira keeps it mysterious. He doesn't spill the tea on his real power because it's way too risky. Instead, he pulls a classic misdirection move and asks Kurosaki about her injuries. Man's dodging more questions than a politician. Thing is, Akira's not even sure if his copy skill is working right now, which makes Yuri the team's best bet. So, being the strategist he is, he straight up asks her to jump, because he needed to gauge how much she could lift with her Hulk mode strength. Right after that, the team battle finally kicked off. Now, they said it was a team match, but plot twist, each person's actually thrown into a one-on-one fight. First up is Sawatari versus Rin. Rin acted helpless, saying she couldn't fight him and asking him to step aside. She even promised a reward if he complied. Sawatari considered it, said it didn't sound like a bad deal, but also didn't want to take the L, so dude offered to settle it with a coin toss. While he was distracted, Rin took him out instantly, a ruthless display that proved her so-called trust issues were more than just talk. Next was Kumagiri versus Ringo. Now Ringo looked weak as hell, but Kumagiri had just witnessed Sawatari get clapped for dropping his guard, so he stayed alert. Ringo though, she was like, nah, I'm out, and surrendered before Kumagiri even threw hands. Rin lost it, full Karen mode, yelling at Ringo because now the team was one step closer to catching a punishment they definitely didn't want to know about. Then came Kurosaki versus Seiko. Seiko had hyped herself up beforehand, promised Rin she'd win. Unfortunately, Kurosaki wasn't just some NPC with a sword. Nah, he was slicing through attacks like they were warm butter. The man even revealed a blade that could cut anything and casually told her to just give up. But Seiko was stubborn. She'd already promised victory and wasn't about to eat her words. Akira told Kurosaki to wrap things up quickly, but our man was too busy flexing. That delay gave Zaiko the perfect shot, literally. She rushed in and landed a hit that knocked Kurosaki down for good. Yup, that stupid dude lost. Akira is furious. Couldn't believe Mr. Samurai got folded like that. Threw out some spicy insults, no hesitation. Now it was Akira's turn, facing Kitajima. And Akira wasn't just fighting, he was testing stuff. He wanted to confirm if his ability only activates when people believe in what he says. Turns out, yeah, it needs specific conditions. People have to imagine what his power looks like. So he pulled a fast one on Kitajima, tricking him into thinking his power was a giant cannon. Kitajima tried to cancel out the attack with his own ability, and it worked, but the dude wasn't confident at all. That is, until a random girl from the sidelines screamed some basic support, and suddenly he turned into Giga Chad. But Akira used that boost to sniff out his weaknesses. Finally, it was Yuri's time to shine, facing off against Hoshino. And she knew this dude, the same guy who had been stalking her and was the reason she ended up stuck in this death game mess. He had a lame power, turning his body as hard as iron, but that was nothing against Yuri, who just casually one-punched him out of the ring. That wrapped up the second program. Winners got fancy food. As for the losers, they got turned into waiters for the winners. Thanks to the fight, Yuri's hand was injured, so Akira used that as an excuse to slide in closer to her. But before anyone could settle in, the third program dropped. Every contestant had to collect 1,000 points. Akira only had 100 right now, and he'd get 10 points for every person he beat in the area. He started sprinting toward his next target, only to get blocked by some random guy. Akira geared up for a fight, but the guy wasn't trying to battle. He just wanted to recruit Akira into the green team. Meanwhile, Yuri's out here sprinting for her life, getting chased down by the red team. They're trying to force recruit her, like he's an insurance agent. Katsuya, being the only one with a working conscience, jumps in to protect both Yuri and Akira. The dude told them to leave so he could solo these red clowns, then whipped out his bow like he was about to drop a spirit arrow. But, plot twist, one of the red team goons pulls out a cannon. When Yuri pointed out that the guy had the same power as Akira, Akira just said bet and fired his own cannon back in a Dragon Ball-style energy clash. With no time to waste, they dipped straight to the green team's base. Yuri couldn't shake her awkwardness, haunted by the faintly tragic note they'd parted on, only to discover Akira already waiting for her like a loyal NPC with a side quest. Girl's heart did a lil cartwheel. The green team leader greets them like a chill camp counselor but with trauma. He explains the whole Hunger Games situation. Apparently, the red team is out here building a toxic dictatorship by stepping on anyone weaker than them. And when their grunts fail to kidnap new players, their boss doesn't just yell, nah, he goes full WWE. Besides Team Red and Green, there's also Team Blue. They're just there, neutral, vibing, and ghosted by everyone because they refuse to pick sides. Anyway, war was brewing between Green and Red, and their leader was desperate to recruit strong players like Akira and Yuri. But Akira dismissed the idea, scoffing that he wasn't about to join just because they'd asked nicely. He was built different after all. So he pulls a power move, threatening the leader just to test if the guy's got real leadership energy. After confirming the dude isn't all bark, Akira finally agrees to join, but too many new players show up and the base runs out of rooms. So, Akira has to share a room with Yuri. And yeah, I know exactly what you're all thinking. Then they walk into their shared room and Akira says they need to talk, like he's about to confess. Yuri's brain is absolutely melting, heart doing backflips. She's already imagining a wedding dress with Akira. But Akira pulled out his notes like a nerdy professor and explained that he needed to clarify his true power. He requested that they close their eyes and imagine their feelings reaching him. Girl was expecting love, but she got a TED Talk. So why did Akira go through that whole speech? Simple. By using telepathy, he guaranteed no one could eavesdrop on their conversation. That connection helped them trust each other more, and Akira finally felt like someone had his back, so he could actually go full power mode without second-guessing himself. Next day, Mion drops a new quest like it's an event in a gacha game, Monster Extermination Time. Beat a monster, bag 30 coins. So, Green Team and Blue Team roll out with full enthusiasm, swinging powers like it's Anime Sunday. Everyone's fighting monsters, but no one's keeping an eye on the other teams. Luckily, Akira and Yuri already had a brain cell sharing agreement. They're using telepathy mid-battle, while everyone else still thinks Akira's only power is his cannon. And when is the thumbnail scene? Stay tuned, because whatever's coming next is definitely not going to be chill. Thanks for watching. This is Dem Recaps. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.